Welcome to the last topic of the preceptorship course. At the end of this video, kindly take the exam in order for us to evaluate your understanding of the course, and release the course certificate if you pass the test. Also, please participate in completing the course evaluation. The preceptor is an evaluator. The goal of this module is to utilize techniques in formative and summative evaluation processes. The objective is that at the completion of this area of content, the participant will be able to define formative and summative evaluation, recognize the impact of nonverbal communication, demonstrate constructive feedback and coaching skills, differentiate between feedback and performance evaluation, and implement the evaluation process. As a preceptor of the unit, we have to remember that when we listen with intent to understand others, rather than with the intent to reply, we begin true communication and relationship building. Opportunities to then speak openly and to be understood and take consideration. Seeking to be understood takes courage. Effectiveness lies in balancing the two. As an evaluator of the unit, we have to bear in mind the observable and measurable behavior that learning can only be inferred on the basis of a change in behavior. And we based on standards of performance that evaluating performance and providing feedback are two of the most critical activities preceptors facilitate during preceptorship. The following are the elements for providing effective feedback. Feedback must relate to performance goals and expectations. It must be channeled toward key result areas. Must be focused on performance and is meant for improvements. Also, feedback must be based on credible and accurate information, and is tied to observable behavior and measurable results. The following are the approaches in providing feedback and assisting learners who do not meet performance during orientation. Identify the source of the problem. Allow the preceptee to rethink her goals in orientation and how the work was approached from the first day of orientation. Preceptees each have different learning styles. Remember, the negative outcomes of work can be due to the preceptorship and not the preceptee. Think positive and make the learner feel that you care. Be creative and innovative in order to make a difference in your preceptee's learning outcomes. The 4 E's of constructive feedback: engage, empathize, educate, enlist. To engage, the preceptor should make the necessary preparation, link feedback to common goals, and state what you want to discuss. To empathize with your trainers, you have to determine the best time and place to convey your message and focus on facts and feelings. Think about distraction from others, or if the person is upset or not. And if there is any issues or concerns, always consider to move to private area that is convenient for the preceptee as well. To educate, focus on the situation, issue or behavior, not to the person. Avoid judgment, be specific and avoid past and unrelated situations. Convey respect and support. Link behavior to business goals or challenges. Remain objective. Lastly, enlisting promotes open discussion. Elicit the person's response. Use questions to probe, listen and summarize what you heard, and guide toward a solution. The attributes of effective feedback are the following: specific, not general; descriptive, not judgmental; constructive, not destructive; factual, not opinionate. Clearly understood by the receiver. Directed at behavior, not at personalities. Check the other attributes in the table, and evaluate yourself if you are applying them in the nursing units, if you are giving feedback to your orientees and trainees. The elements of feedback. The feedback should describe what was observed, and answer all the questions of who, what, when, where, and how. Relate how the observed behavior made you feel. Always specific as possible, and avoid judging and generalizing. Suggest an alternative action, behavior, or response. The principles of providing feedback. Whenever possible, provide positive feedback. When necessary, provide constructive feedback. Unless an emergency situation arises, avoid giving negative feedback. The Beer feedback model. B. Behavior. What is the perceptee doing or not doing that is unacceptable? E for effect. Why is the behavior unacceptable? How does it hurt productivity, impact safe patient care, or breach policies and procedures? E. Expectation. What does the perceptor expect the perceptee to do or not do to change? R for result. What will happen if the perceptee changes the positive tone to negative tone? The grade strategy for evaluation. G. Get ready, review expectations, evaluation form, and consider unique opportunities or challenges of your area. R for review expectations with learner. Meet very early in the experience. Determine the knowledge and skill level. Always review goals, and describe the evaluation process. A. Assess, always observe, record, and provide feedback regularly. Also, have learner do a self-assessment. D is to discuss assessment at midpoint. Have a formal meeting also. The learner and evaluator fill out form in advance, compare evaluations together, and discuss differences and how expectations are being met. E for end with a grade D, complete evaluation in advance. Schedule sufficient time, support your evaluation with examples. Highlight items that can be worked on in the future. The evaluation phases. The formative evaluation measures intermediate outcomes. Checklists are reviewed weekly or bi-weekly. Focus in giving constructive feedback. However, summative evaluation measures the final outcomes. Performance evaluation. Participative form of assessment aimed at increasing the autonomy. In performance evaluation, the effectiveness of a preceptor's evaluation during preceptorship experience depends on recognizing the differences and competencies of each preceptee, patient assignments that is given, the gradual increase in the workload based on the strengths, and considering the weaknesses to be improved as well. Another, the preceptor remains available to assist and evaluate the preceptee's ability to care. Meets with the preceptee to answer questions. At the end of the shift, a debriefing session should be done to check the progress, if the goal is met, and to know others' concerns and ways for improvement. In doing performance evaluation for your trainees, consider the following. Are the preceptees doing what they were expected or hired to do? Do they function below or above our expectations for them? Do they competently and safely function in their new work and practice setting? What are they doing particularly well at, and what do they need ongoing development in? What can the preceptor do differently next time that make the preceptee even more successful? In doing performance evaluation, communication is very important, and to be an effective evaluator, you should know how to interpret the verbal information and nonverbal information that your preceptee wants to convey through body language and facial expressions. Check the illustration and pictures to be aware of the commonly used body language and facial expression for the nonverbal communication. The principles of effective communication are as follows. Listening effectively by maintaining eye contact and understanding the messages conveyed. Observing the preceptee's verbal cues. Keeping the line of communication open. Using emotional intelligence during communication. Encourage asking questions. Not interrupting the preceptee during verbal communication. Responding to the preceptee's questions timely and with enthusiasm. Being respectful to the preceptee feelings and responses. Not beginning the conversation with negative comments that may discourage the preceptee to verbalize any existing problems. Providing constructive feedback when necessary. Verbally communicating at the beside during teaching, and non-verbally by demonstrating a procedure and making sure you have the learner's attention. Setting expectation with regards to patient assignments that are clear and concise. Identifying the outcomes that you as the preceptor would want to see as part of the assigned patient care delivery. Paying attention into details is very important to not miss something when evaluating staffs. How well is your perception? And how do you pay attention into something important? Let's see how you perceive things, and how you pay attention into something important. What can you see in the picture? Old woman? Or young girl? Look closely. The old woman's nose is the young girl's chin. Were you able to see the clear picture? How about this? What can you see in the picture? A face of a Native American? Or an Eskimo? Look closely. The man's nose is the Eskimo's elbow. Try again. Check the picture. What images can you see? Woman in vanity? Or skull? Try move further a bit from the screen, and blink to see the skull. Or the woman looking at the mirror. Were you able to see them? Are you enjoying the activity? Check the picture again. What images can you see? Can you see the two faces? Or one face? Two faces in a side view, and at the middle is a candle with a stand. Or the one face front view. Let's try it again for the last time. What images can you see? Man playing horn? Or woman silhouette? Have you noticed that the woman's right eye is the chin of the man with the horn? coaching the preceptee. Always remember that coaching conversations happens before, during, and after the event. This includes the feedback, problem solving, and development. A conversation wherein the coach instructs, counsels, tutor the coachee in how to improve performance. The following are the coaching principles. The coachee does acquire the facts, not from the coach but from within himself, stimulated by the coach. Coaching is about the way things done, not about what is done. It unlocks people's potential to maximize their own performance. Coaching can occur spontaneously or an hour-long session. And people must be seen in terms of their future potential, not their past performance. Types of coaching. Feedback, to reinforce or change a specific pattern of behavior. Problem solving, to figure out the best approach for solving a problem, pursuing an opportunity, or producing a specific result. Resolving feelings of anxiety about leading change. Developmental, to help the person being coached define professional or personal aspirations, and find ways to achieve those aspirations by strengthening specific performance improvement skills. Integrating lessons from training into daily work life. The following are the coaching challenges. Misunderstanding. To evaluate this, the preceptor should ask, "Can I test your understanding of what I'm asking you to do?" In lecturing, one should talk less and ask more open questions. Ask for your preceptee's point of view, or opinion and ideas. Most preceptors experience having insufficient time to achieve goal. One must learn how to manage time efficiently, and check for appropriate time to be allotted in every activity. If you felt that there is no improvement to the preceptee, try to look for reasons, ask for a view, opinion or ideas. Always include the day-to-day experience of the preceptees in the debriefing session. Discussing past experience and remind you will also talk about the future plans to be included and what more activity or procedure the preceptee wants to experience. Reluctance. Find out if anxiety relates to skill, confidence or content. In evaluating performance, tool is designed to measure preceptee's performance in relation to the objectives of preceptorship experience. Three categories to evaluate the preceptee. Monitor for consistent demonstration, if the preceptee achieve goal continuously. Demonstration with minimal prompt. Check if the preceptee needs encouragement to achieve the goal. Demonstration with repeated prompts, if the student not showing any progress. Four levels to evaluate the preceptee. The preceptor needs to check if the preceptee has no clinical exposure, requires further training and follow-up, requires supervision, competent to be assigned in a task. In implementing performance evaluation, through formative evaluation, the following should be taken into consideration. Ongoing process and documentation. Weekly updates with preceptee. Multiple preceptors must communicate. Written goals and follow-up. No surprises at end-of orientation. In implementing performance evaluation, through summative evaluation in collaboration with manager, the following should be taken into consideration. Meet with manager before preceptorship begins. Decide what data must be collected. Develop methods to collect the data. In final evaluation, consider the following. Manager's responsibility, clarify preceptor role. Analyze and interpret the data. Write the evaluation report. Share the evaluation results with preceptee. A good preceptor always go beyond preceptoring and make an extra effort. The preceptor makes sure of the following before letting go a preceptee. The preceptee must begin to stand alone and function as a co-worker. Let the preceptee to take on responsibilities, and let them to handle their workload during slow and hectic times. Remembers that you are functioning as the preceptee's safety net when it comes to patient care and other disciplines. Guide and support the new employee during her orientation. A good preceptor also develops a mentorship relationship with the preceptee. The mentor may be the preceptor, however any qualified staff may become a mentor. The mentorship is meant to serve as a support system, to assist in supporting the new staff through the transition from the preceptee to experienced staff. Thank you for completing the preceptorship course. I hope this will help you in becoming a role model, facilitator, effective educator, and evaluator in the nursing unit as you fulfill your role as a unit preceptor for the new orientees, trainees, and nursing interns. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us in the Nursing Education Office.